squeezing profits out of every wager. It's AI worth the squeeze and Skybox Sports Network. Get your dream sports ticker and live odds boards at Skybox Sports Network. Welcome in, everybody, to week 9 of Man vs. Machine. We focus on the intersection of expert-based capping and AI-generated projections in this fast-growing world of sports betting. I'm Steve Shellman. This is Brian Reiner. We'll be taking you through the NFL slate this week using a combination of AI and expert capper opinion to make winning picks. Brian's a world-renowned poker player and has been capping games well before the boom of online sports gambling. And I've spent the majority of my career using quantitative models to explain, forecast, and predict human behavior. Specifically, my team's focused on building models and data pipelines for the Department of Defense, now the Department of War. And we've basically taken all of that technology that the Department of Defense has been funding over the last 15 years, and we've turned it on the sports world. And now it's packaged in an application that we call PropJuice. So today, we're going to discuss the various betting angles from both the human expert side and a data-driven AI perspective, hopefully make some more informed winning picks regarding spreads, money lines, totals, and we're going to throw out some props today. So Brian's going to talk about key issues affecting teams and players, how that impacts lines and angles, and I'm going to show you what the models are saying about the latest game and player projections for this week's action. Okay, so each week, Brian's going to do his research on a set of games that we agree on in advance. We've already gotten that list together. I'm going to use the PropJuice app to bring insights from our data-driven AI perspective on those same matchups and some prop bets, and we're going to discuss those various angles, risks, and potential return on investment. So what do you say? Let's get started, baby! Except we got to talk a little bit about last week, Brian. How's your week, man? How was your week?
It was good. I mean, it wasn't great. I went with Dallas last week, and I've panned Dallas every week. Dak being Dak, and for some stupid reason, and as I texted you earlier, if I pick Dallas the rest of the year, just hit me over the head with a baseball bat, because there's no reason why I should have been on them, and of course I took them, and they get absolutely slaughtered. But yeah, crushed the Green Bay game. I was a little worried the first half. I was like, God, Green Bay's defense looked good, but their offense looked terrible. And that's happened a few times this year. But they ended up coming on strong in the second half, pulling that out. So that was a great win. And then Philadelphia just crushed the Giants. And, that was my best bet of the week. So all in all, it was good. The one big miss was Houston, and that's where I did my deep dive this week. I really kind of dissected into this team, because I was like, maybe I'm just missing something, or maybe I'm just not putting in the time with Houston, because I just didn't think they were that good offensively. But when you look at them defensively, they're the best in the NFL. I mean, I ran a PDP pass defensive power chart across 5 variants in defense, and they ranked number 1 in 4 of the 5. I mean, yards allowed, passing defense, passing coverage. So anyway, I'm a little high right now on Houston after looking at this and doing like I said, a super deep dive. So that was a miss. I probably shouldn't have. I didn't really like the game, so I didn't get hurt too bad, financially. But yeah, other than that, it was okay. It was nothing to write home about. I'm ready. I'm ready this week. I think with the 4 games we selected, I spent quite a bit of time on them. I think I'm going 4-0 this week against the spread.
All right, well, let's see how we do. We got a lot of heavy favorites this week like we did last week. I mean, I think the big thing that crushed PropJuice last weekend was that Falcons loss, because we basically had them on all our big strategic parlays. We thought there's no way the Falcons are going to lose to the freaking Dolphins, right? So, Unfortunately, that was the problem. But, the Eagles covered and won. I took a 6.5 on that. I think you had a 7. The Bills won, and they covered. The Patriots won. The Bucks won. So we won all these straight bets, right? The Niners disappointed me too, right? That was our that PropJuice pick of the week, and the Vegas line was right, even though we were questioning it the whole week, right? Dak was Dak. Sorry, Brian. I know he does it to every year, right? He plays really well, generates a lot of positive buzz about his play, and then he goes and lays an egg. He's just inconsistent. So, sorry about the Commanders, bro. I had the Chiefs in a big win, and they came through for me, along with the Pats. And so I had a nice little parlay with like Chiefs, Pats, Colts. That was a nice one. Steelers disappointed me, though. You had the Broncos. I had the Steelers covering that game, and that just didn't happen. So I did have the money line, though, because PropJuice had the money line for the Broncos. So I had some parlays with that on it. So those cashed a little bit with the Patriots and the Bucks and the Colts and those kinds of guys. But the Falcons, man, just kind of killed those big ones, along with the Bengals, because I pretty much split up Falcons and Bengals across. I don't know why I did that, but I did, and now I got to have second thoughts on why you would do that in terms of your anchors on your parlays. But the Chiefs win got us over that Falcons loss on that Sunday night. I was pretty happy about that, and I actually switched over to the NBA after the Falcons loss. I was so mad. I was just like, forget the NFL, man. I'm going to the NBA. I forgot they were playing. It was Sunday, right? So I switched over to the NFL. I put a bunch of prop picks in and game parlays, and we run the table, man. So we hit every game in the NBA.
PropJuice has been on fire with the NBA games. I mean, I told you I'm not a big NBA bettor or fan, but I've been following along just, with the site, and I'm like, damn, this thing's hitting. I might have to pop in a few of these babies.
Yeah, I mean, we ran the table on Monday and Tuesday night, man. So we had a Sports Equinox right on Monday night. So we had a 9-pick parlay with 8 of our favorite NBA games plus the Chiefs, all 9 cashed. We had a multi-sport parlay where we had the Dodgers on the money line with a Mookie Betts hit. We had Tyrese Maxey going off and winning. And we had Mahomes going over 2 passing touchdowns, the total going over like 20-something. And then we had Sidney Crosby having a point. He actually scored a goal. I was low risk, so I went with the point. I probably should have gone with the goal. I actually had Shohei Ohtani with a home run too, man. I got that one. We got Sidney Crosby with the point. We got Maxey going off. The only one that didn't come through for me on Equinox, who comes through on every freaking day, it was kind of like the opposite day, I guess, man, because SGA had 23. When's the last time SGA had 23?
He scores 30 every night.
I know. He actually killed the Equinox parlay, a different one. So, but anyway, we've been killing it in the NBA, man. Ran the table last night, ran the table Monday night, and we called 8 games on Sunday night. So, I mean, the spreads and the money lines are doing really well. We'll probably just absolutely get obliterated tonight because I'm talking about it, but you know how that happens. Yeah, so far we're doing pretty good. So reminder that From the Cave, Man vs. Machine, sponsored by PropJuice AI worth the squeeze. PropJuice is a full suite AI sports pick app delivering data-driven game picks, both the NFL and the NBA now, and prop bets right to your mobile phone and favorite web browser. It recommends the top dog of the day. It breaks down multiple models each week. I go in, I take the top props across all the leagues on a Monday or a Sunday. I just sort them by the highest probability, take the top 5 or 6 people. It can be NFL, it can be NBA. Create that parlay, put it in. They've been cashing, man. The top 5 or 6 legs have been cashing a lot. So sign up PropJuice with your platinum level subscription over at PropJuice.ai. AI worth the squeeze. Put our sponsors code in at checkout. Get 10% off. Code SKYBOX10. Again, SKYBOX10. Get you 10% off at PropJuice.ai. Off your first month's platinum level subscription. Go sign up. Tonight, take Avija plus 20, Mitchell 25, Reeves 25, Markkanen 20. It'll pay for your subscription right there, man. Again, Markkanen 20, Reeves 25, Mitchell 25, and Avija 20 for the Portland Trailblazers. He hits 20 every night. It's like 90% he hits 20. So go hit those 4 guys. It'll pay for your subscription. All right, let's jump into the NFL matchup this week. Let's start with the Vikings and Wentz and that shoulder surgery. We got JJ McCarthy coming back, right? Got a big NFC divisional matchup coming in with the Lions. He left the game with that shoulder. He's banged up. Like I said, McCarthy's coming in. I'm expecting a little bit of a bloodbath, though, here at Detroit, man. I mean, JJ McCarthy hadn't played a long time. I know you were high on him in the beginning, but he really only had one good fourth quarter so far this year. So we'll see what you say here. I'm taking Goff and Gibbs, man, to just, lay it down. St. Brown, maybe a touchdown, over 70 yards. How you leaning on this one, Brian?
I like Detroit. I think JJ McCarthy's not going to have a great homecoming back. He was the U of M guy, and coming into Detroit with that defense, He may wish he was sitting out a few more weeks. I mean, even with Wentz in there, I mean, I like Detroit at home a lot. They're just a much better team at home. I think the defense for Minnesota is not as good, especially in the corners. I think St. Brown is going to have a big game. You know what else? I'll give you a prop that I like. You know, not being a prop player, but just the way the defense sets up for Minnesota is Laporta tonight. There's going to be a lot of those. I mean, Iman's going to get open on some, but they're going to zone defense quite a bit because otherwise Goff's going to pick them apart. But you're going to get Laporta open with a linebacker coverage a lot tonight. And I think he's going to have a really big game. But I like Detroit. It's 8.5. It seems a little high for, an NFC. I don't know. It seemed a little high to me at first, and the more I look at it, the more I said this could be even worse than that. So I took Detroit 8.5. I took Detroit down to 6.5 on a couple parlays, but at 8.5, this was a top 5 bet for me this week. I like them a lot, so I'm going Detroit minus 8.5.
Okay. The AI agrees with you here. I got the Lions winning this game with a 66% probability. I got the Vikings barely covering. I'm not necessarily going to bet that. I'm not necessarily believing that too much. The consensus spread is minus 7.77, so it's really close to that 8.5, right?
Yeah.
And 2 of our spreads go beyond that. So they go to 11 and 13, which is probably more likely where this game's going to be 10, 13, 14 points probably. So I'm probably going to bet 6.5 on parlays just to make it a touchdown game. If I got 6, 7, 8 legs. I'm going to bet the 8.5 spread straight. I think another great angle on this is team totals, though. So our models have really been cashing the team totals, and the team total is set on this one at 30 or 27 or something like that. Yeah. So you might not go over 30, but you could parlay like a minus 6.5 and a team total over 25, or over 27 or over 26.5 and get positive money on that. So that's an option to take, and I think they're going to score a lot. I got Goff throwing 2 touchdown passes as well. He's got a 63% probability to throw 2 touchdowns. I got him actually going under his yards, though, which I found interesting. So maybe it's just a blowout and they're just running the ball in the fourth quarter. I don't know. Because you're talking about, pass defense.
That could very well be. I thought the total 48 was low, though. I mean, if they hang 30 on them, don't you think, that Minnesota's going to score 18? I don't know. I don't know. I see a 30-plus game by Detroit, but so I have to go over the 48.
I gotcha. I think... let's see, what's my score in this Detroit game? Let's see what we got here.
You could see Detroit up by 28 and Goff not even playing in the fourth quarter. That just killed me on parlays with Josh Allen. They didn't play him the whole fourth quarter, and I needed 4 rushing yards for a monster. And I was like, if they score again, he's not coming in, and he didn't. So that happens.
Yeah, I got let's see. Yeah, I got like a 27 to like 17, 18 game though. So it's consistent with the 48. So it's kind of interesting, man. It's kind of interesting. Yeah. So yeah, I just wanted to check that out since you mentioned it. All right, so we both like the Lions pretty heavy here, at least by 7, probably closer to 9 or 10. Okay. All right. So let's move on to our second game. The Broncos travel to Houston. The Broncos were a bit surprising on offense last week, given Dallas, but maybe not so surprising given that bad Dallas Cowboys defense. I think it's probably last in the league or close to it.
Third worst in the league.
Okay. So
they just can't stop anybody.
Like I said, though, you kind of mentioned in the beginning of the show that Houston's a little bit of a mystery here. Specifically on offense, especially with like Nico Collins out, and they just haven't. They've had some offensive linemen in and out, so I don't think they really look good at all against Seattle. And then they dropped their first 3, and then they go and they beat the Niners handedly, right? 26-15 in a game that the AI and I thought the Niners were going to win outright. So two up and down teams lately, as the Broncos had to score 30 in the fourth to beat the Giants a couple of weeks ago, right? So they looked horrible for the first 3 quarters of that game. So they're kind of like a little bit of inconsistent like these Texans are. But they come out and they beat the Cowboys pretty well, and their offense does really well. And you kind of like, can they score points or not? That's kind of where you are with the Broncos. Now they got a little bit of a pass with the Cowboys defense. We'll see if they can score points against Houston, because this defense is freaking awesome, man. So who you got and why, Brian?
I am going to make a last-minute audible here, and I looked at this. I was leaning Denver all week. I'm going to go with Houston only because of the deep dive I mentioned.
It must have been my human expert opinion that changed your opinion.
Yeah, I ran this chart. I spent a lot of time on it. It was really based on Houston. I was like, how did I miss Houston so badly? I know the Niners were depleted, but, they literally they're the best defense and the best passing defense in the NFL. They allow 14.7 points a game. And I know Denver is going to need to score, and they only give up like 260 yards a game. That's first in both categories. 178 passing yards a game. And Bo Nix in Denver to beat you have to do what they do to Dallas, and they got to throw the ball a lot. I mean, they're 4th in passing in the NFL. And they only give up 88 rushing yards. I mean, this defense is not just good some places and weak others. They're strong across the board. I mean, they held the Niners to 48 net yards last week. 48. I mean, I just was like, the more I dug into this Houston defense team, I was like, this team's better. Now, can they score points? That's where they've struggled.
Right.
But I ran an audible here last minute. I'm going to go Houston minus 1.5. I think if it was at Denver, I would probably take Denver. That's basically what it came down to. They're a home team. Their defense is just firing on all cylinders. So I'm going to go Houston minus 1.5 on literally, I changed my mind in the last 30 minutes on this game.
What about the total? It's 40. You got any perspective on that?
I think it's under. I know. I looked at that line too, and I was like, you know what? I think this is going to be 17-9.
I think that's the clue that this could be a Texans win. Right?
If this game goes over, Denver wins. If it's under, Houston wins. I see it like maybe 17-9, 21-10, like something like that. I don't see Houston scoring a lot of points, and I don't see Denver scoring a lot of points. So the over, under is what I like.
What was the score last week of the Houston Niners game? It was like 26-15 or something like that.
Exactly.
So, we could get something similar. 23-17, 2017, you said 17-9. So
San Francisco was banged up. I get that. But, McCaffrey played, Juwan Jennings played. You had Kittle back, Stroud threw for 300 yards and they scored 26 points. You know what I mean? He had one pick and he threw for 2 TDs, but it was 26-15. I mean, is Denver going to...
Yeah,
I don't know.
Is pretty good, though. The defense for Broncos is pretty good, too. Where do they rank in your spreadsheet? Where were they?
So Denver is right... I think they ended up 7th. Yeah, so on overall pass defensive power, they were a 65.8. They were 6 in rushing defense, pass rush defense, 56. They were -7 on the passing D. So they came out across the board with all 5 categories I ran at a 65.8 compared to Houston at a 92. Okay. So, yeah, they were 7th in the league, though. That's what I'm saying. This is a defensive game. This is
that's what I'm saying. The Denver defense is playing C.J. Stroud, no Nico Collins. Chubb's not really running the ball a lot, man. I don't think they got a great run game. They're going to have to throw the ball. And given that they're the 6th best pass defense, you could see, you could really see a low-scoring game here.
I think it's going to be low-scoring. In my mind, this was flashing, 17-9 Houston.
I mean, maybe the real pick here is the under.
Yeah, you're probably right. From a betting strategy, I think you're right. I really, for some reason, I just completely underestimated. I knew their defense was good, but I didn't realize, of 4 of the 5 categories, they ranked number 1, in looking at the things that I really care about. And so, yeah, I just, I was leading Denver all week, and at the last minute, I'm like, you know what? You just ran all of this study, you spent all the time on it, and you're going to go against what you just found? No, I'm not doing it. That's what I did with Dallas last week, and I'm not doing it again. I'm not making that mistake. I'm going with my own head, my own brain, my own numbers, and my own gut. My own gut says Houston wins this game.
Okay, man. So I can't do an audible because the AI is the AI. The numbers come out. That's the numbers. Right. So
that's true.
Unfortunately, I got the Broncos winning this game, right? With a 0.58. So it's not huge, right? Just a 0.58 probability winning this game, which means it's less than 3. So
yeah, that's close.
The book has it right in terms of the 1.5, and then I got the Broncos covering this 1.5 though. I got a -1, a -0.02. I got the Texans with a a minus spread on the Texans, a -0.4 on the Texans, but everything else is +1, +2, +3. So, it might be one of those things where I stay away. I'll put a straight bet in on it, and then I'll probably leave it off a lot of my parlays just because I don't want to ruin it, And then I might actually take the Texans +3.5, just as the 10th leg on a 10-leg parlay, to add some juice at the end and see if we get it right.
Yeah, on an entertainment parlay, I would do the same thing. I'd run the line up a little bit and put them on there, but I like the under in this game. I mean, I'm gonna have a few parlays with
I got
an
over too, man. I got an over. I got a projection of. Let's see what's my projections. Totals. The drive points is probably around 46, which is probably high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
40 is a low number, it seems, in the NFL this year, but the games have been going under. And I think this game definitely goes under.
All right, Brian. Well, let's go check out Skybox Sports Network in case we want to take a money line bet on either of these teams, right? So you can take
just refreshing. It looks like you're getting on DraftKings and FanDuel and Fanatics, you're getting +110 on the money line. Houston's -129 to 130. I saw BetMGM went to -125 today. I mean, that's a pretty big line, I think, for, a 1.5 game. I don't know. That tells you there's a lot of straight up action and steam coming in on the Texans, which, didn't influence me, but it's interesting to see that because I just pulled Skybox up. The one thing I love about Skybox, man, it's just like up to the second, boom, you get it all the time and you get it across, multiple books.
It is pretty cool. What about,
if you're going to take Denver,
I think we got 1.5.
I think if you're going to take Denver, forget the 1.5. I just take the 110. If they win the game, I don't think the 1 or 1.5 is going to make a difference.
Dude, you pulled the audible. You're taking the Texans.
No, I took I 100% am on Houston. I'm just saying if you're going to take Denver, why not just take the money line? You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that.
You can get 110. Why would you want to lay 115 or 113 and 10? Yeah, I mean, even at 1.5, 105.
Yeah.
I mean,
DraftKings
was -123.
Yeah, but that's a 2.5. That's 2.5.
Yeah, 2.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're. I don't know. That's an ugly number to me. I mean, not only is it a point higher, but you're laying 123. So I don't like that at all. I mean, I like Houston anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But at 2.5, they're only -108 at DraftKings. So I like that.
Yeah, because that's your field goal.
Yeah, exactly. And it's 108 instead of 117, which is what I got at Caesars.
Yeah, or even
I had to lay
110.
117 for the one, but I mean, it's
even better
1.5.
than 110,
Yeah, exactly.
But
I got Houston, so we're different there.
All right, I know I can't change, but I might. It doesn't mean that's how I'm going to bet. It just means that's what the AI
exactly. Exactly.
All right, so Skybox Sports Network, we really appreciate their sponsorship. We're going to take a quick break and tell you a little bit about what they have to offer on their website for your man cave or your sports pub. So we'll be right back. Hey guys, I'm Steve Shulman, the founder of PropJuice. Head on over and get your live odds boards over at Skybox Sports Network. and get 10% off your live odds boards or your sports tickers over at Skybox Sports Network, available on Amazon and on their website. You can check out all the latest odds. Right here, we got player props. Washington Commanders, live right now. Jaden Daniels, over 228 passing yards, minus 115. You think he's going to go over? What about Jordan Love? He's over 234, minus 115. You think he's going to go over? Check out your odds all day long. We got receiving props. We got wide receiver, longest rush, or rushing props for running backs, and wide receiver props, longest pass, receptions, receiving yards. We got all the odds from NCAA football, the NFL, MLB, WNBA, NHL. It's all available right here on your live odds. Get your live odds board from Skybox Sports Network. Get 10% off with code PropJuice at checkout. Get your best bet at PropJuice. Go check out the best price from Skybox Sports Network. Get your odds board at Skybox Sports Network. Okay, we're back and ready to go. Look at our third matchup here as the Saints travel to LA to take on Matt Stafford, baby, and the Rams, right? Yeah, I'm a homer with Stafford, I admit it. I'll take the Rams blindly. I don't even need to look at the AI. He's playing great. I think Puka's likely to suit up again this week. Devontae and Kyron back there with that balanced ground attack. New Orleans is reeling. They've benched Rattler. They're going to start Tyler Shough this week. Who you got in this one, Brian?
This is my best bet of the week. It just happened to be one of our 4 games, which rarely happens. I like the Rams minus 14. I like it a lot. I think they're going to crush. They get Nakua back. You have, people don't, I just don't know if Stafford gets the praise that he should get for the type of season he has. Through week 6, he's got 17. There you go. He's got 17 passing touchdowns, and he's only thrown 2 interceptions. Now, one thing Stafford's known for, and I've followed this kid since he joined the University of Georgia Bulldogs, is he's sometimes he'll get a little farvish and he throws up some balls and it gets picked a lot. But he's only had 2 interceptions through 6 games, which is unbelievable. You got Nakua returning from an ankle injury. The Rams passing attack, with Nakua is just infinitely better than without him. Before he got hurt, he was leading the league in catches and yards, and you're getting him back this week with the Saints 21st in pass defensively in the NFL. So their pass rush is also non-existent. And the one thing about Stafford, if you don't get in his face and you give him time, he throws as accurate a ball as there is in the NFL, and he's just going to see tires out there, and he's going to throw. I love this game. I love the Rams big. I love the Rams 14. I absolutely am going to crush this game. Probably my largest bet of the season.
I will probably I'll probably go to 13.5 on this one as well, on at least one straight bet. AI's got the Rams, probably not surprising. So we got a 0.85. It's the highest money line of PropJuice games. So 85% chance to win. So
there's no surprise in AI then.
Yeah,
nothing to worry about here. Fire, baby.
Yeah, our consensus spread's only 10, but I just think because it's hard to get a 14-15. So again, another angle to take on this Rams team, though, that I took last week is these team totals, man. So you got these high-scoring teams like the Colts and the Chiefs and the Lions and the Rams, right? And so you can take 4 or 5 of them, take them over their team total, or even dial them back 1 or 2 rungs under their team total, parlay them all on a team total and take that, because sometimes they're playing teams that can't keep up to keep the game total in the right frame of mind, right? So
and this game's in LA too.
Yeah, so
this thing smells disaster, and the only way it's a disaster is if some craziness happens, and I mean like ridiculous turnovers, pick sixes, stuff like that. And I just think the defense is going to destroy that quarterback. He's going to. I think this game's an absolute blowout, and I know I shouldn't, be so positive about a game because it is the NFL, but I love this game.
Yeah, I got a 90% win money line on Drive Edge, and I got a 92% chance of winning on Blitz Edge.
Wow!
So you might just take $500K and put it on the money line and make $150,000.
Exactly. Hey, I got a client that, you might see a 300K bet this week. That's how much I like it. I mean, even if you took 6.5 for 300K, you make 150.
Exactly. I mean, so you could take and I actually looked at this one with team total. So you could take over 27. You could take a minus 9.5, and then you could take the Saints under 19.5, and that's positive money. So that as a same game parlay. My scores support that too. So my scores are something like 26-15, 26-14, 27-13, 27-13. Those are my scores. So you could go over 25, over 27 for their team total, and take the Saints under 20, and then minus 6.5, and that's a pretty nice little same game parlay. If you want to add Puka to it, because we think he's going to go off, the AI says he's got a 72% chance to go over 70 yards. He's got an over 55% chance to go over his. That's a different number.
Unless the Rams are up by 30, and all those guys are going to be on the bench.
Well, that's true.
Watching the game.
That's true.
Yeah.
And they could be running.
That's what I'm worried about.
They could be running the ball with Kyron Williams. Because I got Stafford going under. So he's got a 57% chance to go under 255 yards. Yet Puka's got, a 70% chance to go over 70. So, but Puka can get 70 in 3 quarters.
Yeah, he can. Yeah, absolutely. He can get 70 in the first half. Against this Saints defense, he can get 70 in the first half.
All right, so we like the Rams in that one heavy. We like their team total. We like yards a little bit, but we're a little worried that Stafford and Puka could get pulled in the fourth if it's going so well for the Rams. All right, so let's move to the last matchup here. We got this Falcons team, man, that I just don't know what to make of, man. They get beat by 30.
Flip a coin on who shows up each week, I'm telling you.
I know they got beat by 30 in Carolina. They got beat by 30 the last game they played. I mean, but 3 weeks ago they go up to not Foxborough, sorry. They go up to Buffalo and just whoop them, man. So they're just so inconsistent. I thought for sure at San Francisco a couple weeks ago, I thought that that they would just destroy the Dolphins, man. Sorry, I'm trying to get back to the Dolphins, but because they didn't play that well in San Francisco, right? They were down in San Francisco, so I thought, okay, there's no way they have to have a bounce back game for the Dolphins. And then they lay an egg again, man,
They look
So
terrible.
I fear that it's now the time for them to have the bounce back magic. So I'm a little bit concerned about this game just because they are so talented, man. And Bijan Robinson is a stud, man. I mean, he has the most yards from scrimmage until the last couple weeks that they've laid eggs, right? I mean, he was like 150, 160 yards from scrimmage, man, in terms of rushing and passing yards, receiving yards. So I fear that, depending on what happens with Penix and what's going on in the locker room and the team gouging and building, that they could come out and they could try to beat this team, man, because it's a talented team with a disappointing season so far, man. And I think they should have fired the coach Monday. I think he should be gone, dude. Yeah. So I just don't know to make this. Who you got?
Two standout points I'll make on this game. New England's run defense, second in the NFL. They give up 76 yards rushing a game, 3.5 yards a carry. So that neutralizes Bijan. That neutralizes Bijan big time. Can he have a big game? Of course. He's Bijan Robinson. He's a elite running back in the NFL.
They're going to split him out wide, though. They're going to split him out wide and throw it to him because the pass defense.
You also have corners for Atlanta that are going to struggle with Drake May's deep ball. I'm telling you, this kid throws the prettiest deep ball in the NFL. I mean, if you just watch them, they can be down. The two biggest profits we made this year are when the Patriots went down a touchdown early and we rehammered bets that we already had because the line just moved. And I was like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter with them. They can put up 30 points in a quarter, no problem. They throw the deep ball. They can throw 60, 70-yard passes. It happens. You've seen it happen over and over again. And that's really where Atlanta suffers. So you have a defense for the Patriots that's second in the NFL against a run, and then you also have the corners which are struggling for Atlanta. So I like the Patriots here. I didn't really like 5.5. I thought that line came up high, and I thought you were going to see some steam, and this line was gonna come down. But being in Foxborough, I mean, I get it, but it's under a touchdown, and I think Atlanta has all sorts of problems. I mean, Cousins did not look good, but how could you expect him to look good? I mean, he had to come in there cold. He didn't have a lot of snaps. I mean, he had some snaps with the first team this week, so I think he'll be better. I mean, Cousins is a good quarterback, very good quarterback, and I think you might even see a deal in place with him. He ends up back in Minnesota. I mean, with Wentz going down, there's been some rumblings, and I wouldn't be surprised to see that. But I'm going to go with the Patriots minus 5.5. It's my pick. I tried to move. I tried to switch. I tried to talk myself off of it because I have that feeling that this could be that trap game where it could end up, Patriots kick a field goal at the end of the game. They don't cover. But I'm going to go with the Patriots. Just all of my numbers say to go with the Patriots. And after taking Dallas last week, I'm not doing it again for the rest of the year. I make that vow right now. I will not go against my numbers and what the math tells me to do and what my gut tells me to do on a strategy basis. So I'm going Patriots minus 5.5. Really interested in what AI has to say here.
I'm actually going to take a minus 6.5 straight bet on this. So I got a consensus spread of almost 9, over 8.5. So my smallest spread is minus 2.86 though. So I'm probably going to go money line on parlays or minus 2.5 on parlays, but I might do a minus 6.5. I mean, the line's 5.5. Might as well lay a touchdown, a touchdown minus the hook, or the hook for the favorite, minus 6.5. So that's my plan. 2.5s to money lines on parlays, and I'm actually going to leave them off this week, a couple parlays because of last week, right? So just because the Falcons could reverse screw me.
Yeah.
So I am going to leave the Pats off some parlays. I've been a little bit strategic in some of the bets I've put in already. So, because I think it's a little bit of a trap game potentially, but it's in New England. If this was in Atlanta, I would probably go Pats. I would probably go Falcons to cover. In the dome, in Atlanta, no outside conditions. We don't have to deal with cold or possible rain or anything like that, or even overcast and winter day up in Foxborough. If it was in the dome, I'd probably take the Falcons plus 7.5, maybe. But it's not. It's in Foxborough, man. So I got one line that goes to 15. Drive Edge says minus 15. I've got a minus 14, got a minus 15, a minus 11, a minus 8.
If Atlanta struggles to score, this could be like, 35-10, 35-13.
They play like they did against Carolina, the 49ers, and the Dolphins, then they'll lose the game massively.
Exactly.
If they play like they played against the Bills and the Patriots look like the same team to me, man.
The Bills were really dysfunctional that game. I know there were some injuries too, but that just didn't even look like the Buffalo Bills team this year. I mean, I have the Buffalo Bills win the Super Bowl this year, so that was a little surprising.
For this game, I do have Bijan scoring a touchdown. He's got a 75% chance to score a touchdown. He didn't score a touchdown last week, so
fumble going in.
What now?
He fumbled going in because I had him on a touchdown parlay. You see that one I sent you? I missed one.
It was going to close the gap and maybe change the whole game.
I know it.
It really could.
I just wanted the touchdown from him. That was a incredible sweat. All three of the other touchdowns, boom, 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 all happened early. I didn't even have to sweat it for the rest. But Bijan, yeah,
I got like a 28-16, 28-17 game.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
Yeah. So, and I got him scoring a touchdown from the Tutty Predictor cast. So, on that, let's do a real quick reminder that From the Cave is sponsored by PropJuice, squeezing profits out of every wager. It's AI worth the squeeze. Sign up at PropJuice.ai. Get that platinum level subscription to be able to break down all the models, get all the signals for making parlays. If you lose an NFL game, because the NFL is the NFL, just switch over to the NBA, put in a couple bets, get your money back. It's
on
easy
fire,
that,
baby.
Right? I mean, the NBA is screaming right now. We're probably going to lose every game tonight. Bet the opposite of everything tonight, right? Because a lot of them are screaming tonight.
Don't go against the machine, man. When it's hot, it's hot.
Come over, make your parlays, choose your winners at PropJuice.ai. AI worth the squeeze. All right. So we do this every week. We were like, I don't know if we need a dog this week or what. And then we're just kind of chit-chatting before we started our cast. And then I was like, well, we're not talking about the biggest game of the week. And you were like, oh, you mean Bills Chiefs? And I was like, yeah. I was like, the AI unfortunately has the Bills in that one, man, but I don't really want to bet against Mahomes, man. Sometimes I bet against Mahomes and it just comes back to haunt me, man. So anyway, the AI has the Bills. We can show that to you here in a second, Brian. What's your commentary on Bills Chiefs?
I like the Bills. I think the Bills are going to show and they're going to expose Kansas City for who they are. I like the Bills.
We know you hate Kansas City, man. So
I do. They're not making the playoffs. Remember, I said that.
I don't know if this is a little bit of your hate for Kansas City cropping in here.
No, I took Buffalo to win the Super Bowl before the season started, and I'm still on them. I didn't like the Atlanta game for them, but they looked really good last week. So I like Buffalo in this game, and I think the Buffalo's gonna handle them soundly.
All right, I don't know about that, man. It is in Buffalo. That's what we got going on. Here's the AI. The AI's got a 53% chance. I'm sorry, wrong money line. 64% chance that the Bills win this game, dude.
64.
64.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I like them just from a stat and handicapping aspect. Not just that I picked them to win the Super Bowl. I'm saying this matchup, this game, I like the Bills. So the AI also has them, makes me like them more.
AI's got them all over the board. So we got one model that really goes against them. Quant Edge. It's got Kansas City covering by 4. So, but I've got a Bills -1, Bills -1.85, Bills -3, Bills -2.6, Bills -3.3, and our consensus comes out to, when you work them all together, a -1.
Wow.
I got the Bills
they
actually
like the
winning
Bills
this
too.
game. Not just covering, but winning.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, I got 24-23 Bills. I got one. This is the one game I got 31-27 Chiefs Bills. Chiefs over Bills. 31 Chiefs, 27 Bills. Other than that, I got 29-26 Bills, 27-26 Bills, 27-26 Bills.
Yeah. Let's go Buffalo.
I also got the over. Is 52.
I think the game's definitely going over.
Got the 52.5. I've got a 53% chance of going over. 52.5. My lowest total is 47.
So just refresh me, see if that line. I'm surprised that line is 1.5 too. I really do. Yeah. I thought it'd be a pick'em.
You don't like paying big and extra money, but I don't like losing, man. So I might think about taking a +3.5 Bills over 40. Parlay those two together, lay $100 down, see what happens.
Interesting. I hope Buffalo pounds them. We'll see. It's going to be a good game. Can't wait for it.
All right, man. So what do we got here? You can get these dated back model driven insights, these Bills picks right here, baby. All the NBA models, right? All season long over at PropJuice.ai. We got NBA props galore tonight. Like I said, take Avija and Mitchell and Jaylen Brown's probably going to have 20, maybe 25 tonight. So, get in there, check out the app, check out your probabilities, put a 3 or 4 leg parlay on, and you'll probably win it. Don't forget to get that ticker for your man cave or your sports pub over at Skybox Sports Network. We had a great segment today where we looked at the Texans money line for Brian, who's going to be picking that sucker, right? Just go on over to Amazon and get one delivered right to your doorstep. Use the discount code PropJuice at checkout. Get 10% off your dream sports ticker or your odds boards right there. Get 10% off all your odds, your news, your scores that keep you informed all season long. Skybox Sports Network. All right, Brian, it's been another fun week. Another fun week talking ball. making picks. Any last closing thoughts you got before the weekend?
Yeah, I received a lot of text messages last week because I had put out, you know, a prop on touchdowns, and you know, we talked about Bijan costing me and it was a huge parlay, and people were like, you know, how did you come up with some of this thing? I'll give you just an interesting little bit of information to leave you with tonight. I ran a data search for highest percentage of targets caught for touchdowns this season. It was 116 players. I kind of modeled out everything that was where people had 25 or less targets. So this is 25 plus targets or more, because those guys are getting action, right? To score touchdowns, you got to get opportunities.
Now,
so I ran 25 plus.
Target in the red zone, target in the end zone.
No, just targeting, just 25 targets. 25 targets. It was 116 players. The highest percentage of targets that were caught for touchdowns. Number 1, Dallas Goedert. He had 2 last week. Keyshawn Boot scored a touchdown again last week. And Tucker Kraft is number 3. So listen to these numbers. Dallas Goedert, 17.9%. Boot, 16.7%. Tucker Kraft, 14.6% caught for touchdowns. There's nobody else that's even over 12%. 4 was like 11.1%. So there you go. There you go, baby. But yeah, I just thought that was super interesting, and that two of those guys are tight end. And then, you know, Kraft gets 2. So, you know, it was the late game. I was licking my wounds after Washington. So I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to take Tucker Kraft for 1 touchdown, Tucker Kraft for 2 touchdowns, because I missed that was a $26,000 if Bijan Robinson doesn't fumble and the one goes in. You pick up a quarter of a big note, and you know it hurt. It really hurt a little bit. But anyway, I come back. I took Tucker 1 touchdown, Tucker 2 touchdowns, and catch them both. So anyway, I just thought that was an interesting tidbit that, you know, 2 of those guys are tight ends. They get, you know, a lot of targets, especially in the end zone, but they also have a lot of yaks. And I think that helps a lot with those guys, because tight ends like to catch those 10, 12-yard passes. And then you got to be able to run. And you saw Kraft, he just bullied those guys. He's like, I'm going in for 7, baby.
Yeah, that's how Kraft got.
So anyway, those were 3 numbers, and there was no even close to 12. I think 11.1 was like weird. And these guys were only 15 up to 18%. That was pretty interesting. So leave it at that.
Regarding that, we got a new feature that we're putting together. Hopefully it'll be out next week. We continue to iterate on it, but we're basically taking all our key defensive stats and we're putting them in our against the line table in our props, so that you see the defensive stats next to the player and the team that they played last week, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago. You see their number.
Absolutely love that.
You see their number versus the line versus the defensive ratings, right? One of the statistics we have for touchdowns is targets in the red zone. Not just targets in the red zone. So
which
I think
so a lot of times ends up being tight ends.
Yeah. So just kind of what you were saying, let's iterate on this kind of thing as we get the new features up and running. I'd really like to get your feedback on it, and also alternative stats. Yeah. So you had some interesting stats in the spreadsheet you forwarded me just before we started today. Maybe we could use some of those stats inside the app, to go along with our prop bet. So anyway,
we're trying I love that, Steve. Absolutely love that.
We're going to color code them. So if you're in the middle third, you'll be yellow. If you're really good, you'll be red. And if you're really bad, you'll be green. So if a player's going up against a green defense and he's got an over, then you have more confidence in taking that over. If a player's going up against a red defense and it's a 0.53 probability on the over, you might just move on to the next guy. Right?
Yeah.
So the idea is to kind of drop them. And if you got like a 60% chance of going over against a yellow defense, you might be comfortable with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
for math nerds and number nerds, man, I love that. I absolutely love that. Can't wait to see that.
Yeah. So hopefully that'll be up next week. We're going to do the same thing for the NBA. So you'll be like the defensive rating for shooting guards on shooting guards, the defensive rating for point guards on point guards, defensive rating on centers. Right? So it's going to be by position in the NBA, which is going to be even cooler. And we're going to try to match that up in the NFL, right? We're going to take all the defensive passing stuff and match that up against receivers. We're going to take all the defensive rushing stuff and match that up against running backs, right? So we'll be able to do that to an extent. We don't have quite the data on, like, how much, name your favorite cornerback, Arnold or something covers somebody, or, Snead, what's his defensive rating. So we could maybe get to that level next year, not this year, but I think it's going to be interesting as you start to match up. We might even be able to get to zone versus man coverage, and we might be able to get to the team and what percentages they play zone man, and then how much, and then the offensive rating against that zone man coverage next to Puka Nakua.
But individual matchups are so much more important because we've had so many injuries in corners and nickels and stuff this year, safeties, that the players. I mean, we saw 2 guys come up from the practice squad for Detroit that played lights out, but shut those guys down. So it's great when you have like person to person matchup. Yeah. So good deal, man. Fun week. I feel good about this week, man. We, the 4 games that ended up getting selected. I think I'm going 4-0 this week against us.
Oh yeah, and then we got favorites all over the place for this week. I mean, our biggest 3 money lines are the Rams, the Chargers, which we didn't talk about today. That's our second biggest, and then the Patriots were our third. So I didn't say that. Yeah. The Patriots are our third biggest money line, and we had the Rams and Patriots as 2 of our picks, right? And then our next biggest money line is the Seahawks. Got the Seahawks beating.
They're sneaky.
Beating the Commanders. I know the Commanders are your team, man. Sorry. I got them beating the Commanders. And then we got well,
they're my team when they have a quarterback that can, not just run 4 balls and run out of bounds. And anyway.
There you go. All right,
Come
man.
on, Jaden. Get healthy.
All right, guys. So remember to spread the word, like the channel. Come back next week from the K. Man vs. Machine pits expert capper Brian Reiner against the PropJuice AI data back machine. Catch next week's episode on Thursday before we kick off to week 10. Oh my gosh, this is the midpoint, right? 18 weeks in the season, man. This is it, baby. This is the midpoint. I can't believe we're at the midpoint, man. We only have 9 more weeks to make some money, right? All right, so catch next week's episode before week 10. Again, had a great time talking ball with Brian today, and all the stats. We got new features coming out. Don't forget about the NBA, baby. Every night you can win on PropJuice with the NBA. All right, guys? Y'all have a good one. We'll see you next week on From the K, Man vs. Machine.